offlane role with ROTK. We've seen him on that hero as well.
Consistent theme across drafts is having some wiggle room and versatility with your early picks. So like Crystal Maiden provides that. It doesn't give too much away. It helps all of your lanes, has roaming potential. With the Sand King, we saw yesterday with Newbee running it both in the off lane and as a roamer. Like teams have that flexibility with this hero. So it fills a lot of different shoes. This hero is also kind of picking up popularity near the end of last patch too. Just a good all-around hero that doesn't give too much away.
Now, about 6 months to a year ago, whenever you see a Sand King first pick, it seems like the other team immediately replies with the Rubik, considering the spell steal and the Burrow Strike as a quote-unquote counter. Wow. Why haven't we been seeing more of that, Jack?
We saw some great Rubik play yesterday.
Yeah, by Sioma, yeah.
Oh my lord.
And you would think it's also a solid early pick in the same sense that that hero can do frightening amount of things, like with good execution, like play value way above his position as well.
Right. Okay.
There we go. Okay, so
we're asking the Boboka hero. This is it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. And again, to me, it's just going to stand out throughout this tournament. This showcases the importance of support play in this patch. You almost never saw double support opens in 7.05.
Yep.
10 seconds remaining.
Man, this hero is just so potentially impactful in either direction. Really, he's a hero that can have such a huge impact from the 4 position, but minor mistakes can also be so costly. I mean, Jack, you've talked about some people are very critical of Kaka's Earth Spirit play, and that's something that can really negatively impact a team as well.
Yeah, the itemization. I mean, a lot of Earth Spirits will go blink. Kaka generally avoids that. I think he goes Force Staff, and it just feels that he's a little bit less effective with starting fights. Boboka, this was one of his signature heroes for a long time, and actually he changed his name to Borax at some point. And in honor
no kidding.
In honor of Jerax. And then Jerax, at the obviously IG beat OG in the DAC, and with some great performances from Boboka against him, and OG was talking about Boboka's great play around that time as well.
Yeah, some mutual respect among these great competitors. Yeah, I'm not so sure about the Warlock pick. We haven't seen him have a huge impact. Also, for those of you who are just turning in, you are going to get to see Kaka and Newbee in action in our second series coming up of the day, but this is game 2 of Series 1.
The Warlock has been extremely popular in many scenes, in China certainly recently, and this is the staple hero for Fenrir.
Yes.
So VG.J has been playing this like when they had success last StarLadder, this was like a big crux of that as well. And then it also has some of the same things, like you have the strong laner who can usually, maybe if not zone that well, at least babysit and make sure that his carry gets up his farm, and then you have the great counter initiation later on. So if we go towards more of a make sure we have late game and have some kind of like big boss lineup, this fits it very well.
I think the problem with Warlock is that you pretty much pitted yourself into that kind of draft because he doesn't give you the plan B of start roaming and killing the mid, right? Last game they were able to start double roaming with a Crystal Maiden and what was it, the Sand King, yeah. This time around, the Warlock has to be stationary in the safe lane. And yes, it does give you the strong counter initiation, but at a very long cooldown. The pacing of this patch is much faster. If IG goes for a lower cooldown draft, they could get in between those Warlock ults and start taking towers and taking objectives.
Well, but the solution to that is you pick aggressive, a hero that is itself capable of early rotation. If he gets his level 6 or 7, he can be the one that's aggressive, and then you leave the Warlock in the lane to get that early level 6 to set up the team fights.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Ursa banned or taken fairly quickly at this point. I think it's a good fit for this kind of lineup that VG.J runs, and for aggressive and for both teams arguably in this position as well.
Is Ursa big in the Chinese scene though? I haven't seen as much of that hero in China.
It's become quite popular.
Okay.
The LGD network of teams has kind of ridden Ursa quite a bit. I think influenced a lot by say VP or how other teams were using him in all positions as like a fearsome laner, a great tempo controller out of the carry position. And teams that have wanted to play faster, especially, I think it's been a great hero for them. And if you want to play slower too, like you have that hero that falls off a little bit, but it's just such a terror early game that he solidifies everything else for you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind on my DPL and H Cup replays. Actually, just as a general comment, just stunning to me over the last 6 months how much those two leagues, DPL in particular, has led the pro meta. They've been so indicative coming into these big tournaments. Like you saw Crystal Maiden, for example, spike in DPL and in SEA play coming into Kiev, and she was by far the most picked hero.
Did you take out the Juggernaut instead? I guess then IG says you could have the Ursa, and we're going to have plans for the Ursa moving forward.
We saw yesterday with the Ursa the Bat Rider as kind of a lane answer to it to just complicate things or
Yeah, I like that.
just keep the supports home. And also Ursa emerged in that meta where you saw that kind of offlaner, the Omnia Baden type that kind of wants to be static and stay in lane, and Ursa offers like a scary solution to that. So
yeah, against melee sustain heroes, Ursa just eats them alive in lane. And it's also very hard to, I find, it's also very hard to like find a support that doesn't do well with the Ursa in that situation. That support can pull freely, and that's even more important in this patch.
Yeah, that is kind of one of the vulnerabilities of the hero. If you end up having to use supports to protect him, I mean, that hero does want levels early on. The sooner he has levels, the faster he's on the map. We're threatening Roshan as well. So,
will IG take the Ursa away from VG.J? Like you mentioned, you know, if Aggressive wants to play within his comfort zone, heroes like Lifesteal, Juggernaut are starting to limit, and it's going to be a Darkseer instead.
Man, I like that a lot. That's such a scary first three by IG. I like this drafting template that we're seeing from a lot of teams now where you double support open and then pick your offlaner third. I think it's just so scary, and it also protects your core positions that are very vulnerable now to getting pressured in lane.
You know, something that was said yesterday about IG is a lot of the games they win is from the 2-3-4 position.
Yep.
Or, I mean, Earthseer plus Vacuum, we're going to see it at least once or twice this game. These guys have been playing together for years now, and that combo has been pristine every time I've casted their game. So I'm looking forward to some good Vacuum kit combination.
Yeah,
and
and
follow up with X5, Micropyre, all that jazz.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No.
I think it opens up a lot of great potential for comboing with the mid position, as you mentioned, when you look at the OP Lina.
Okay.
That's, wow. That could be a really good pick or absolutely awful, depending on if they can protect it in lane. Now, that actually makes the Warlock pick make a little bit more sense, because Lycan is a hero potentially very, very good with the tempos that we're seeing in this patch. Also, depending on the laning matchups, he can need a lot of protection. And that makes the Warlock pick a little bit more value.
I think the Lycan adds a lot to this lineup. When you're taking a fight during nighttime, yesterday Howl was a spell compared to Mech almost in terms of HP restoration.
Oh my god, the stats on the total HP restored by Howl were insane.
It's like better than Hand of God. I think that was the actual comparison used. And also, Lycan, I think historically seemed like a tower pusher, but as the meta has shifted, do not be surprised if Aggressive plays him as a hero fighter. You walk into the woods, you activate your ult. Look at the current draft for IG right now. They don't have a lot of reliable stuns. Trying to ice path the Wolf when he was in Wolf form, he'll run circles around you. So I think the backline of IG is going to be very vulnerable to the Lycan.
Well, but it's the two questions, though. The number one question is the presence of the Warlock in lane enough to make sure that the Lycan has a favorable matchup against the Darkseer? The other one being, with a team like IG that's so confident in its Earth Spirit play, the lack of a setup for that stun is a little bit less relevant. But now you've got a setup stun in that Burning Sven.
Yeah, so just like with the first game, IG opened with a bit of soft control out of their support positions, and we were just worried about that with Lycan. But one of the things that Darkseer does, obviously, is just provide a lot of combo potential with just about everyone. So, you know, whether it's Alina, whether it's a StarLadder, whether it's a Disruptor, or it's this group of AoE, and especially with the Sven, there's that combo potential that extends above the value of the heroes in terms of mid-game fights. So I kind of like this draft philosophy from IG. That seems to be the direction they want to go here.
Yeah, they're also, IG, one of the few teams, probably the only pro team that I can think of that never fully went away from the Sven.
Yep.
They've been running Sven steadily.
Loves this hero.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, you look at his pub win rate. He is the now #1 pub win rate hero. He's up almost 10% since the patch released. I just think it's a great pick for them. Interesting to me that IG are themselves going to take out the Lina with the 5th pick. I thought Lina would have made perfect sense for OP as a mid lane pick, 5th.
I think we saw in this tournament, Lycan has been doing very well against Lina, particularly in the fights.
Oh, that's true.
It's very hard to actually control him, and once he gets to your face, Lina is one of the lower armor mid that just gets chomped through. So I wonder if that was like they didn't really want the hero for themselves.
All right, so what are we going to see here as a 5th pick coming out from VG.J and IG? Both teams need their mid heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
Is there any good mid that comes out to mind if you know your
So-
opponent is playing for a combo game?
For IG, I actually like I like Medusa quite a bit here. Particularly if they don't see it
Hey.
coming. Oh, that's not bad. It's super vulnerable to the early roam, but I don't know.
So I kind of brought this hero up a little bit, seeing a bit more, just in pubs initially at the start of the patch. But if they want to hit this kind of fast push timing with the Lycan, the Silencer is a hero that's very fearsome to go up against in the mid lane, creates a lot of matchup problems, and like those early silences are that much more crucial, especially if you're talking about disrupting a combo-based team. Say when the first or second spell comes out, and being able to hit that silence to disrupt things or to protect the damage output of the Lycan. So I think they're going to go for a much faster kind of pace of this game.
Doesn't this Silencer just dump all over the Ember Spirit lane? I was
If
not
it's true
expecting
1v1,
the
yes.
Silencer. Yeah.
But I think he's gonna get, or the Ember is gonna get some help.
Guys, I was really leaning toward IG here, but that 5th pick makes me nervous. What do you guys think?
I think this game is truly going to be decided by initiation. We saw IG's Wombo combo potential, and then the Dire side, they have Blasto plus Global. They have Burrow Strike, Epicenter into Global.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the better jump will win this game, and they both have good jumps. So
Look for the rotations this game. I think
Yeah.
if VG.J doesn't have kind of a stranglehold in this game within the first 20 minutes or so, it's going to be very tough for the game from going forward.
All right, guys, let's put it on the line as you see the EGB.com odds at the bottom of the screen favoring IG. Who do you guys think takes it home?
IG, Vacuum, Kick, Ice Path, Macro Pyre. They're going to have the better jump.
I'm going with VG.J for this one.
Okay.
All right, I am going to trust IG. I think this is going to be a tight one. Great game here. VG.J need a win here to stay alive in the StarLadder I-League Invitational. Let's throw it out to our casters. Here are Lyrical and Merlini.
Thank you very much, Alan, and the panel. My goodness gracious, we got Wombo combo abound. We both
Guess
got a
Fenrir's battle level.
1,000.
No, higher.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? How much? 2,000.
Higher.
Is it higher than his MMR? That's the real question.
No.
Okay, it's not that high. What is it?
23-13.
That is absurd. He certainly
Sorry to
got the
interrupt
IO
you.
on it. No problem.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, it's what it's about. The big thing I was going to say is we were both excited about the Bobica Earth Spirit. I think that Lumi at one point said he thought he was the best Earth Spirit in China. I kind of agree with that. Dogfights kind of took the mantle. But what do you think about the two drafts here?
I like the Dark Seer for XSS. I think that's the biggest key here because he's the one that can counter-initiate against a Global Silence because he'll have most likely go Greaves this game. It's very common to go versus Global. And then usually you're like, oh, nice, sick. We're going to get this sick combo off and then counter with Vacuum Wall during the Global and you just get boned.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think IG have better heroes for them. I think last game, maybe not the most comfortable for them. But this game, yeah, you mentioned the Boboka Earth Spirit. Let's see what happens.
I'm excited. We're going to
wait,
get
someone
right
DC'd.
into it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. I mean,
That was
they won't look at us anyways, I'm sure. But we are now into this. I heard for a second Jack's voice in my ear. Not sure if that was supposed to be going on, but
you hear what you want to hear.
that's true. Yeah, it was only me is what you're saying. Is
No,
that
I
I'm
heard
just,
it too.
Okay. Well, players wanting to get ready to get started. Other things to sort of mention as the game goes into it, you said that you felt like Silencer pick might struggle a little bit against the rotations coming in from Earth Spirit.
That hero is just really hard to play.
Yeah.
Like Earth. Okay, imagine this: Ember remnants at you with an ion shell, and then chains during the remnant.
Yeah.
And then what do? You just like the hero. It's really hard to play in a core position, I think. But a lot of teams have run it with some success. MP runs it mid. VP runs it mid. VG.J, I don't think I've seen it on freeze yet, but I don't actually know what the build is. Maybe you go double bracer and Atos. Maybe you go drums. Maybe you go four staff. Maybe you go more team fight items.
I don't know. That was the old build,
You can't
right?
go Shadowblade Rush. I don't
Okay.
think you can get it first.
Atos kind of was one that was interesting to me. With the changes, it feels like it's more value on that hero than it would have been before. Double bracer, maybe a little bit of an easier build-up.
Maybe versus Ember too. Might be good. Get that extra root. They're getting a little bit jittery up in the booth.
Uh-oh.
Maybe
my
this is just a pregame ritual, man. He's jamming out.
He looks spastic. He's just got some music on maybe or something. I'm not sure.
Paying DDR, man.
OP. It's a guy. He wants to do it.
On a side note, the Chinese crowd is very good at drawing.
Yeah. Those things were intense. I wasn't quite sure who it was at first, but then suddenly ROTK sprung to mind. They had the little heart thing over the top of them. It was cute. It was great. Bobica going to be able to get down this early ward, spots out Fenrir. He does not want to break his smoke here, giving away his position, and it looks like it's going to happen nonetheless. We'll see if Fenrir realizes it and gets the D ward. Maybe you get 2 for the price of 1.
Oh, that's cute. Freeze, you know how you have those 3 display things in your profile?
Yeah.
He has 3 player
Yeah.
cards of Blink.
你不是昨天来吗？
Yeah. Well, rest in peace, Wings.
Oh, no. Poor Wings.
Poor Wings.
Oh, my God. Fenrir actually drops the ward right in vision of the other one, so this is scouted out and should be an easy D ward for IG.
Yep, they do have 1 sentry on Q. Lycan might be pressured a lot in lane. So Darkseer is going to start off bottom. That is the first bit of curiosity that I see in this game. And Lycan is very easily pressured, though. We used to see a lot of Axe picked up against Lycan because Lycan just doesn't do anything versus Axe. But that was before the Howl change. And now that Lycans don't often get wolves in lane anymore, I don't know if that hero is even that good versus him anymore.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see.
Okay, so Exodus is now switching again. He did start off. Okay, he's just starting off in the jungle, it looks like, because he has the Iron Talon. Oh, wait, no? What's going on IG?
I can't even see him, so I'm not really sure what they're up to.
Exodus has started off at the bottom bounty rune, got the bottom bounty rune, and then walked top. I guess they really wanted him to get that extra gold, but why? Oh, so he can pick up the Stout. Okay, that's pretty cool.
So they knew
like
that they were
that.
going to come in and try and mess with them, so they'd make sure that they get it. And I guess it wouldn't have mattered
Well,
anyway
they
that first creep wave.
So Ember can't get the bottom rune because if you get the bottom rune, you miss the mid block.
Right.
So they want to give him his Stout Shield and Iron Talon without messing up the mid block, and that's kind of the only way you can do it.
Okay, cool stuff.
That's kind of cool. I mean, is that really worth it? Because then you miss your block on top.
And you also don't get a full creep wave of experience almost as well.
But
Time
it
will
is
tell.
cool. I like cool stuff like that. You know, we've seen some like people get the bounty rune and then they like TP in the mid to get the block off. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff like that in the early game. A lot of people think that early games, you know, there's only so much you can do with your items and stuff, but yeah, there's always more cool stuff in Dota.
Well, a chain comes out and dealing a good bit of damage to Freeze there. See how these early laning stage ends up working out. And you saw, of course, the little bit of a missed roll as FY was able to dodge away from it from the Burrow Strike. Don't know if that was intentional or not, but
He's so smooth.
The X dodge as well that came out from FY with the Torrent earlier on the last game, that was pretty cool as well. But ROTK playing on the Batrider here. He's getting the help as well from a couple of these heroes. They're going to be able to dodge it again, and Bobica, a rare miss for this guy. It's not as easy as it used to be.
Swarming up, dude. He hasn't been given Earth Spirit in months. Not months.
A long
Days.
time. Days, okay.
Hours. Minutes.
I'm not sure how many pubs they've been playing, but I'm curious if they, you know, there weren't a ton of changes to Earth Spirit in the last patch. He still feels to me like he can be a okay strength if you're playing one of these top guys who's really used to it. We saw Tim's go completely ham on it the other day, and he's just going to chase around FY some more. Drops the boulder menacingly in his direction.
That is like a taunt, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just dropping a boulder on top of someone, not doing anything with it. Just dropping the boulder.
Well, Iron Talon there for the Darkseer. As
He's
you
out of
mentioned.
mana.
Yeah, this is
might
not
have
the best.
He might have a TB back home, I think. I don't know. What do you do without mana as Darkseer? Without the Shrine and with no mangoes?
I mean, the plus side for him is that it is just the Lycan that's there, so he can. Oh my God, is he really? It's a lot of damage coming in. The movement speed is there, so they can't even really sit in lane to try and soak it up.
Walk of shame time. It's not really shameful. It's not like he got owned. He's just out of mana.
OP in the meantime out of regen for himself and taking some of that harassment from the silencer.
I bet they would have loved the top Shrine right now.
Yeah. God, that would have been incredibly value. But still, this tri-lane versus tri-lane hasn't really produced a whole lot of action yet. Only just like zoning back and forth, but
It is cool that they are helping out ROTK. Typically, VG just leave him alone.
oh,
But,
they actually ended up
dude,
blocking
that dude's tanky. Did he even take any damage?
It didn't really look like it. And, well, Fenrir now taking a little bit of a beating of his own. Bobica trying to run him down. ROTK is still walking in. The Firefly Might expire soon. It looks like they are going to back out now, but FY is still stuck behind enemy lines. We'll be able to make
casually walk out.
They're rolling in another dodge. Man, ain't no hocus pocus, just focus. Getting out of there.
ROTK has no mana, though. This is a great time to go on him.
That is a lot of damage. He has a Mango to pop as well for Sven. If they want a second one, the stun comes out, and that's first blood. Drawn by
and
Q.
the wasted Mango. Oh, no.
Oh, that hurts. Damn.
And he didn't buy before he died, it looks like.
Well, certainly not what they wanted on VG.J. So early CS, it's looking like Silencer a little bit ahead of Ember, not terrible. Lycan very much the winner in this entire set of affairs as he is leading the CS heavily compared to the Sven.
Yeah, certainly is. I guess you got to match him up against the Darkseer, though, in terms of CS, but he's still whomping the Darkseer in terms of experience and everything.
What have we here?
Yeah, true enough. It's a little bit tough, though, because I feel like now, is it just that you need to sort of keep this laning stage static? Do you think that it's enough that they sort of find that initial kill? How do you see this working for IG so far? Are they pretty happy with the laning phase at all, or is it
I think they
rough?
can utilize stacks like nobody's business with their lineup. Ember is great at taking out stacks, especially with Ion Shell. You have Jakiro, you can blow Macropyres on it, and Sven is the god of stacks. But first they need to make sure they get some more farm up on Burning. Burning needs a lot of items this game. He's going to need BKB for sure. He's going to need Blink Dagger. And then whatever normal items you get. Mask of Madness usually. But this Observer Ward is in a great spot.
ROTK gets caught again. Firefly, the stun comes through. They drop Global for that one even. And ROTK...
That was awkward.
What? I guess were they just too afraid of them going in?
You can't go on Bat Rider once he's like right next to the cliff. So looks like Fenrir is going to eat it. Maboka does not really have that much mana.
And ROTK, I mean, they can go for the sticky napalm, but he's just dead. Freeze actually goes for the rotation in. Arcane curses down. Bobica taking a lot of damage. He is going to drop the triple Remnant forward. He didn't end up killing off FY, but they might be able to find the kill and a freeze nonetheless.
Silencer only gets 2 in out of that and ends up dying. Now net worth in between the two mids. Pretty much equal, and that's kind of the lead that you want for Burning. You sacrifice your supports to buff up your cores in this situation, especially when he hasn't been farming well at all. And now on the top lane, we have XSS able to go into the neutrals, as we can see on the minimap. So that's great for them.
Yeah, a great turn of events, and now the rotation, initial one, global used, all of these things showing the strength of this IG lineup, and I guess you're going to be able to get into a pretty quick mechanism, I would imagine, for the Darkseer.
If he wants to go for that.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot more Midases out of XSS. Looks like he will just start off for an Arcane, but yeah, I would say mech into Greaves is the play, at least at some point. Sometimes you get Blink early too. You can just kill the Silencer, and then you don't have to worry about Global if you have the Blink Dagger first. So FY dropping some obs on the bottom to make sure that IG are not stacking, and they are not. They don't really have time to do so because of this offensive tri-lane from VG.J.
Yeah, it's a nice answer. It has sort of broken down a little bit. Warlock moving around the map now, and maybe they can even take a couple of stacks of their own if they wanted to get the Sand King into a decent timed Blink Dagger. He hasn't really been able to farm all that much, obviously. And looks like in towards mid, they're going to be going. Remnant connects onto one. They will be able to find Freeze, the stun to follow, and well, Burrow Strike trying to get VG.J out of there. He is on the Radiant side, but still hidden and taking down Bobica. They make it work. ROTK, are they going to get it? The Global comes out. That's going to keep Freeze alive for the moment. The pushback as well, and this is going to be OP a little bit too far forward. Q trying to find the kill. Is it going to be enough? It's almost there, but it looks like the raindrops. Is it going to be enough heal? He doesn't end up going down.
Wow. Some fancy footwork there by Freeze. That was a tough situation to get out of, and Bobica has... He could have just waited for the chain to connect with the slow on the rolling boulder, but he has not been hitting his rolls. In a regen, oh my goodness, that's some. Whew. That's a blessing.
RNGesus was favoring Freeze today.
And that's why you buy raindrops.
Yeah, exactly. Particularly against an Ember Spirit. I mean, this guy for doing a ton of magical damage. So about even in terms of the net worth across the two sides.
Went for 3 3s. He went for a 3-0-3 build.
Do you like
Most
that
of the time,
choice?
you'll see 204 or 114, depending on whether you need a slight to dodge stuff. You'll see one level of slight very often versus stuff like Tornado EMP on Evoker. You don't really need to dodge stuff here, but sometimes you do need that one extra right click in order to kill people. But he didn't have max flame guard. The reason why people don't go 303 very often is because the scaling on the Searing Chain is not that great from level 2 to 3. You don't get the extra second. You only get the extra second at the last point. But it does a lot more damage. But most people get flame guard just because it's defensive and offensive.
Right. Yeah, it is an interesting decision to go for that build there, and makes you wonder if it would have ended up making a difference in that last potential kill onto the silencer. So,
or if like XSS TP'd and gave him an Ion Shell, they would destroy. They don't have good diffusal blade carriers, so you definitely want a diffusal blade carrier versus the Flame Guard and the Ion Shell. But as Lycan, you don't get one until super late, and generally only when they get Ghost Scepters. But all in all, farm net worth leader is now XSS because he has been able to get to those neutrals. Oh yeah, let's start those ancient farming, burning.
oh,
Get
it's
on
time.
there, they ping him out. They already know what's happening, but
He's got the stacking too, so they're going to be able to stack up this large camp. They're stacking up the ancients, stacks on stacks on stacks. Happy as a clam.
is Warlock going to be able to absorb anything over here? Looks like he's there.
They're backing out with burning now, seeing that there was Warlock there. I don't know if they realized it was just him or not, but that might also give some idea that there is...
Dude, as Warlock, you can't just walk up that hill if you don't have vision. So they know he has vision somewhere. It's either on the shrine or to the right on that high ground. They don't actually know which one it is. But Boca does not have any sentry wards, so that vision will stay up for quite some time.
We did see Freeze down bottom as well. He's invis here, looking at Q. And with Sand King in the area as well, FY, even though he's very low HP, they're going to try and go for this kill, and it is going to be a little bit of free intel for Freeze.
Plus 8 intel, that's a good start for him. 11 minutes in, that is great.
Oh man, OP. Going to try and bully for Ender there, but we'll just force the TP rotation from ROTK and then backs out after the fact. So keep an eyes on him. All good and dandy.
So I like the way they're playing around the Silencer, though. They're like involving him in a lot of kills early. Silencer is not that hero that you AFK farm with. He is just not going to be able to match up against a Sven in terms of pure farm potential. And Q is getting chased down by old Wolfie on bottom.
Oh my goodness, aggressive. They just run him down. They don't even care at all. And now, oh
It's
god,
a disaster.
Toby making his appearance here. And now you got the catch in the bottom, but who's really ganking who now? They rotate in and find the kill on the Darks here. Bobuka trying to TP away. Can they kill him off in time? No. Just going to get back home.
Dang. FY has just been so good on this Sand King, both this game and last. 1-0 and 4 on him right now, just setting up so many kills, getting people in, saving people, setting up for tower kills. That's kind of the dream that you want from your position 4.
Everything that they could want. And you are getting to this point now where you can catch up with the Sven a little bit. You look at his net worth compared to all these other cores. He's at the bottom of the mark. This is going to be the point where you can start to turn that back around. Although, look at this. VG.J, they want to come and contest. It's not easy.
It looks like they might be able to. That stack's pretty hard to take.
God, but if they can actually do it, Lycan is being rooted. They want to steal this one if at all possible, but
that's a hard no.
yeah, I think the better of it.
You could epicenter that. I would consider epicentering that because there's 2 of the Prowlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 Prowler Shamans, so you'd get 6 creeps for that. That's pretty good.
They're coming back in also with ROTK here. Does he have his Blink Dagger yet? He was getting close last time. Okay.
I'm a little bit worried about ROTK on his Bat Rider. He is not well known for his Bat Rider. I think it's kind of an offlaner specialty, being able to play Bat Rider or not. He is a way different beast than any other offlaner. And you need a very particular set of skills to be able to utilize him to his full potential. But they will smoke on the bottom, going towards their observer wards, but no one is in sight. Instead,
simultaneous smoke in the mid lane. Freeze is the one they've got their eyes on. Bobuka going for the initiation, finds the silence. Stun is there as well, just barely, and aggressive wants to go in. They're actually going to decide to go for this one, and the Burrow Strike epicenter, it's there, on to 3, so much damage, on to IG, and that's going to be 3 gone, triple for aggressive.
okay, FY pulled off a sick epicenter Burrow Strike combo without even having a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's
okay.
that's a player. He's pretty good at Dota. 1-0-7.
also just took way too long to kill the Silencer. Ideally, you would have been able to kill him right next to the tower, but notice where the fight took place. It was about maybe 1,200, 1,300 range away from where he was initially, and that is just bought them way too much time. And that's one of the benefits of having a Lycan. The Howl is just incredibly good for these fights. Having a burst down that extra little bit of HP just buys time for things like Epicenter to come out.
And particularly during nighttime, and now they do decide to go up onto Burning, trying to kill him off, trying to bring him down. They've got that DOT, but there is going to be the surge away. Will he be able to escape? It looks like it. Now the rollback in, the silence comes out as well to try and break the combo. ROTK running away, magnetizes there. They reapply and are going to be able to bring him down. Bobica being killed off here as well. No, the mechanism comes in for the save, and now they drop the golem, trying to turn this one back around. Fenrir is, but OP is chasing. FY is here as well. Can they find the kill onto OP? They've already lost that Warlock as well. Sandstorm turning. Is it going to be enough? FY silenced and going to be killed off. That's 4 dead for VG.J.
That's where the early mech comes in. We talked about it a lot in the series yesterday when Liquid played, and in this game, when you're fighting this often, mech is probably not as good as Howl, but it's still pretty good. And Aggressive is making good use of the space around the map. And trading a T2 for a T1, that's a win. And he is going Diffusal next. Diffusal third item. I thought he would have prioritized it a little bit later, but looking at the lineup, he wants to kite the spin, wants to get rid of the Surge, which is incredibly important to get rid of, and of course the Ion Shell and the Flame Guard. So there's a lot of things to purge this game.
Yeah. Well, and you know, you talked about them pushing out this bottom creep wave and getting the tier 2 tower. There's you know, always a cost to taking those types of fights against a Lycan. As OP has gone on yet again, the silence is going to come out, but not quite in time. He manages to escape. But the other big thing about this is it gives Burning some time to catch back up himself. Look, he's 3rd in the net worth now after being down for so low for so long.
He's still a far cry away from matching Aggressive's net worth, though. He might be 3rd, but Aggressive is way ahead of everyone else because of all the towers that he's been able to get. And I think sooner rather than later, he's going to be able to do Roshan. He already has Armlet, Mask of Madness, and 2 Blades of Alacrity. FY, that's going to take a long time.
But if he can get it, if he can get there, I mean, even if he steals away a couple of Prowlers, it's pretty good. Those will take less time than the others, at least.
Yeah, there's not too much opportunity cost for him right now. But he realizes, yeah, the Sandstorm got buffed, but not level 4.
Well, Golem 50 seconds away. They don't quite connect onto Burning. That was the ulti pop for that. But they will not find the kill. Now they don't have Shapeshift, and the tier 1 tower is going down in the mid lane. They do look like they want to come and contest this, though. Scary.
It's not a wolf form anymore, though. Still could be a pretty good time to fight. They don't have the Diffusal yet, so there's still could get a ton of damage from that Ion Shell and the Flame Guard. Man, Greaves' first item rush from Darkseer, very good versus the Global Silence. And I think that IG are still pretty happy to fight right now. They need to make sure the Ember Spirit doesn't die in the fight, so he is on the precipice of being useless net worth-wise. Because he could potentially die. Like, if he gets lassoed, Global Silence is very good at dealing with him. And ROTK, he doesn't actually have that much mana, not enough to Flame Break and Firefly.
Ooh, look at this play. They know that there's vision here, and they're smoking up to try and find the kill afterwards. Freeze. Maybe the one that gets found. There's the root, but the turnaround, they've got him immediately. Ember Spirit caught, Freeze, Global already down. The Epicenter is there as well as the Warlock ulti. Do they have enough damage? Exodus is in a little bit of trouble, trying to surge forward, see if he can get himself away now. They need to try and reset this fight. They've lost the Ember Spirit. And IG, without a hell of a lot of things to do at this point, I think. They just need to back out. Burrow Strike is there for Jakiro. Just might end up going down now. Sandstorm aggressively vacuum onto one. The wall is there as well as the stun. Ice Path to follow. It's only onto that Sand King, and he will just saunter away, taking the liquid fire damage. Not enough to find the kill. And Aggressive is looking around to try and clean up. The stun onto 2, though, with Bobica and the Magnetize as well. VG.J weren't expecting that Earth Spirit. They will end up losing the Sand King, but it is a full wipe for IG. My God.
FY is just playing out of his mind right now. Freeze had the Global, and then he set up and initiated on the Darkseer. That's the only hero that can do something during the Global Silence. And Ember Spirit was also just way far ahead of everyone else. Keep in mind that Sven was still taking out that stack during the meantime. And Sven does not have a Blink Dagger. So when they went for that fight, it was almost a 1-on-5 to start off with, and then Darkseer was trickling in with his Surge but the rest of the team, the brunt of the damage with the Sven was nowhere to be found. Maybe they can take a fight right now without the Warlock Rock, without the Epicenter, without the Global Silence, but their timing is going to be very limited. Maybe they can stick this T1 as a prize.
Yeah. I mean, Q will be able to make that play, but
Nice
the deny. Very well done. And ROTK just going to get out of there again as well. So the Diffusal Blade is done for Lycan. He's level 16 already.
That's really bad for Ember. I think Ember can just die in global every single time in these fights if he's out in the open. But they kind of need him to be on that front line. Maybe, yeah, it's going to be really tough for them. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it. The thing about the Diffusal Blade too is also really good versus the Warcry. So I don't think that the Sven countering the Lycan is going to work out as well as VG or as IG had hoped for.
Yeah, this is feeling more and more difficult for them, and I guess, you know, there's still things that you can fall back upon. Vacuum into Ice Path is like a pretty easy setup, I would say, with Earth Spirit being there. There's always like one or two things that can combo together, and if they find that combination, they just win the fight instantly.
They don't have enough damage to follow up.
No.
Vacuum doesn't do that much damage. Wall doesn't do that much damage. Like a Lycan Wolf hitting himself is not going to be that great. And
my God,
wow, look how squishy he is without Warcry up.
That is terrifying. That would not inspire a lot of confidence in me right now if I'm IG.
Yeah, I think he is going to try. Is he going to get Halberd with his Sage first? He might need to deal with his Lycan.
Yeah. An item that's been buffed time and again. It feels a lot better, and you know, giving that evasion as well. Every little bit could count towards keeping him alive.
Lycan doesn't worry too much about kiting. He is super fast. He has mega haste, so Sven's still forced to chase him throughout. You can limit his damage, but you still need to worry about doing damage yourself as a Sven.
And I mean, we're also talking as if they're like on even net worth potential. Even is almost 4,000 gold ahead of him at this point.
Yeah, could get worse too. It looks like they are going to try and nail Roche right now. This is a very risky play versus Batrider, versus the Lycan Wolves, versus Epicenter. This could be a big disaster. I could see them easily getting wiped with Epicenter and the Rock Fatal Bonds.
Well, they're going to take it rather quickly as we do get the close-up view right there. Aggressive is low on mana, so this has been a nice little timing.
Nowhere to be found. They're going to send it Wolves, but it's too late. This is a nice play from IG, sneaking it in. VG.J are expecting a smoke. They don't exactly know where.
Yeah, and not enough mana, that like we were saying there. So they did a quick and easy Roshan. Big plays right there for IG.
Age is still there, hello?
Go get it, guys.
So he's going for a Yule's next on Ember Spirit to deal with the Global Silence. But they still have a Diffusal, so it might not be what he's looking for in terms of survivability.
He ended up going for the Veil build as well, trying to get into whatever armor he can. He knows that that's going to be an issue for him throughout this game, sitting on 15 currently.
Yeah, he probably needs to take the armor talent at level 20, I would say. This is Lycan is going to chew him up. But armor doesn't help against a lot of things. It doesn't help for Silencer that much. He has a lot of pure damage, and then Batrider plus Sand King do a lot of magic damage, so in which case it would make a better case for the Flame Guard absorption.
I mean, and even if he does get it, like Lycan is doing 300 damage with Armlet turned on, and he still has so much room to grow.
Yep.
It's terrifying.
And the critical strikes.
Yeah. So Sanj done. Blink Dagger there as well for Sven. He wants to get in these fights and make sure that he can follow up to be there for the damage. And in the last game, we did see IG just holding out for that one perfect fight, which they have sort of a similar idea here in this one. What does that fight look like? Is it with this Aegis now and trying to push stuff, or do they... Uh-oh.
It's always the same. Vacuum Wall. Oh.
Well... Global use, they jump in, they've caught him. This is Ember Spirit under duress. XSS looking for the jump through, they end up backing out. VG.J respecting that team fight potential, but still, nonetheless, OP is going to get caught. Aegis is now down. The pipe ended up being popped. Can they find anything else? The stun is down there, but Lycan's just going to either turn and eat him up or run away if he has to. The stun comes out as well. Vacuum Wall onto 3. It's not bad. Ice Path only caught onto 1. Epicenter there as well. Burning still standing strong, but can they kill off this Lycan? They've got the damage if they can only stay onto him. Magnetize! It's just going to last forever. Bobica saving the day in every possible way as 3 drop for VG.J.
That stone was so close to stopping the Epicenter. that boulder smash was godly from him. It didn't actually catch the Sand King, but the could have, would have, you know, that's a play that could have just blown the fight wide open. Not that they didn't win the fight, but it could have been even worse.
Jeez. And now looking towards taking these towers. This is a lineup that can do it quite quickly. Jakiro, it does a ton of damage to him, and Burning also is there.
And you might have been wondering why the Lycan was so far ahead of his team. It looked like he was isolated in the river, but he's trying to stop the backline. He doesn't want them to be able to get this vacuum wall into Boulder Smash, Ice Path, all these spells that are going to follow up. So he's trying to isolate the supports from their cores, but at the same time, VG.J had already dropped their load on those front lines, and Exodus had caught them as they were trying to catch up to the Lycan.
Ooh, they pull back in onto one. This is Ember in a little bit of trouble, but will be able to make his escape, and Bobica follows up as well. It was a nice stun thrown out there from Bobica to create that separation. FY still looking, the Yule Scepter lift up. Bobica has all the answers in the world, and Q trying to retreat as well. It does look like they're going to be able to at least back out slightly. Now, if VG.J aren't careful, there's always a great counter-initiation play that's possible with the Darkseer.
One thing about the Chinese teams is that they play against Silencer a lot. I would say Silencer is picked far more in that region than anything else, which means that they're going to be very good about itemizing against a global silence. So we see Agrees, we see multiple Yules coming out. So we see, what, 4 of the heroes potentially having a solution to global silence. The only one who doesn't is Sven, who's going to get BKB. So all 5 of their heroes are going to be pretty good versus the global silence. And I'm worried about the Silencer's efficacy just falling off once these items come out.
Yeah, and he does go in towards, like, and become a heavy damage dealer in the later stages of the game, but you need that int growth. You need that farm to really become that, you know, indomitable force.
I wonder if you get Scepter on the Silencer this game.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting. I was sort of wondering it as well.
It's just tough because you're just terrible against BKB. You're awful. Like, Sven runs at you with BKB and you're a Silencer. All you can do is run away and pray.
Well, and it's not even as, I mean, it only deals the bonus damage if they're silenced as well, and they have the answers for silence, so it's kind of tough. But FY is here as well. They are going to, IG decide to back out again, not knowing where everybody was on the map, and probably a good decision since VG.J were moving forward.
You don't want to take a fight like that because you don't know where the Sand King is in that situation. A fight in mid, it's way harder for the Sand King. He had to channel it in open ground. He was up on the cliff, but it's still open ground, and you don't feel comfortable channeling your epicenter because you're worried about someone being able to stop you. Even a sleight of fist can stop you because you won't be able to blink. It's just not a place that you want to be taking a fight in this particular area where we're looking at OP. But on the right side of the map, closer to T2, that is much more ideal, and Batrider can come in from the side. So if you're VG.J, you want to look for a fight close to the trees, close to cliffs. These are way better, and out in the wide open is okay for IG because they can use vacuum to clump them up together into a choke.
Right. Yeah, and I guess, too, it's, you know, not just where you take the fight, but also making sure that you have all that vision and stuff. It's looking so far as if, like, the wards, they're still placed heavily over towards that Roche pit, thinking about the next time that does come up. At least as far as you're concerned, is it still just the story of OP being, like, that down-and-out core at this game?
He needs another Aegis, I think.
Yeah. A little unfortunate here for Q. It's just a quick and easy kill, and that's always going to be beneficial for the Silencer, gaining that in.
Yep. Midas and Lance, he's going to be pretty strong later. Silencer a weird hero in that he's very strong in the early game because his spells do a lot of damage. In the mid game, he needs a lot of escape items, and he doesn't do that much damage. But later on, he gets incredibly strong once he gets like Scythe, Atos, level 25 talent. He hits like a monster, and when BKBs become less and less. So his power curve is, I guess, like a valley.
Yeah. So, movement in, VG.J trying to secure a tower. In the meantime, OP was able to pressure and take down the tier 2 tower in the top. So still, things are going back and forth as far as trading objectives. Everybody just, again, getting ready for that Roche respawn, which is still a little ways away. I feel like VG.J definitely has the stronger individual pickoff lineup, and it's kind of up to IG to try and split push around a little bit at this point.
They seem to make sure their important heroes don't die.
Yeah.
Jakiro is okay. Even if you feed in, I would say it's okay. Just because if they had to blow Lazar or something like that, then your Ember and your Sven feel great. And they have their items that they need now. Sven already has his BKB, so he's not really worried. So now if you're a VG.J, you have to worry about how are you going to tackle these BKBs. You need more physical damage. You need or more upfront bursts so you can straight up kill them before they pop their BKBs. Is that going to be possible for them?
Right. And it's also you need to be able to find that one target and get them and make sure that you don't get caught out by a big counter initiation play via the Darks here or something else. We did actually see that Sven was queuing up the Halberd, so that's going to be another big one picked up there. No ability to spell it anymore. One of the great ways to deal with Lycan, although he still brings so much to the fight just by virtue of that Howl and
it's
extra
also
HP.
very good for Silencer.
Oh, yeah.
The int heroes who have the orb, they don't do well versus evasion at all because you don't want to build MKB at all. What happened? Like OD doesn't like Bloodthorn's not great, and MKB is also not great, and Solar Crest as a true strike mechanic is also not great.
Did your Dota just crash?
I don't know what happened.
Hopefully their Dota didn't just crash out as well. A little bit of an awkward moment there, but sure we'll get this started and underway again in just a few minutes. So we get a quick look at, maybe they just want a breather, take some time to collect themselves. They only have to play one game today. That's the nice part about that for the teams. Each of these elimination matches.
You only have to play one game?
Well, it's not like oh wait, what am I talking about? Yeah, they don't have to play one game. If they win, then they're going to end up having to play two.
I was like, if they lose, they only have to play one game. And then you said that's great. I was like, I'm not sure I follow here, Gabe.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix-up there. Yeah, they don't have to play one game. They're going to have to play two. It looks like they're all in the game still. Nobody has dropped out, but maybe just a little bit of lag or something else. But next couple of minutes here, we have Roche that's soon to respawn.
Oh, I lost my Roche timer.
Oh, no. GG.
GG. I think it's up.
I think I saw it about like a minute or so away. And considering that's the case, last time around, we had a snuck one by IG. It feels like there's a lot of team fight potential on IG as well to steal the next one. And now they're almost about par as far as net worth is concerned. Do you feel like they're going to be able to get it? VG.J, can they move in and contest?
If they get good vision. That's where the Wolves come in. Aggressive has been using his Wolves a lot to farm. So ROTK sits on the mid for them. I thought it would be one of the supports. More so FY than ROTK. Because especially in the early game, it's very clear that FY is the one running around and killing people. But in the mid game, it looks like they prefer the leadership of ROTK to guide them through.
I mean, does that even matter sitting in the middle? They're wearing headsets, right?
Sometimes you actually I think especially in a LAN environment, you can turn to see what's on your what's going on with the other people. Obviously, yeah, if you're communicating by voice, it's not really that important. But being able to look at them and see what they're these Dota players have played long enough that if you get a glimpse of someone's screen, you actually know what they're thinking.
Okay.
So I think being able to look at their screen is a very underrated part of sitting at LAN.
I was going to say, if you're saying that they need to look and figure out what's going on with them, that might not inspire confidence. If you're having an ability, what's this guy doing over here? He's going crazy?
Well, you want to see what the next plan is sometimes.
Well, rolling Boulder down and through, not quite catching ROTK though, as he is still fire flying away. They don't even get the vacuum. Oh, they wanted that kill bad.
Yeah, they're pretty far away from anything, but not having the lasso would be the green light for Ember's Spirit. So that is a Yo Scepter, and now Lycan's actually not going to be doing that great in the defusal charge territory. He's down a 4. There's a lot of things that he needs to purge.
There's that nice move that we've seen where you can buy the second upgrade for the diffusal blade and then
lock it.
Yeah, might be
I do like that.
It's about. It's not even the hardest micro to unlock it in the midst of a fight either.
If you lock it, does it unlock it? Does it reset the cooldown? That would be cool.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, if you unlock it and it upgrades to level 2, then it does. But that would be OP if it did it the other way.
It's only 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's not huge.
Right. Oh. All right. They just end up getting that DD rune there as well. And everybody gearing up to move around that Roche pit. It has respawned at this point.
Oh, what a great observer ward by VG.J. That could be the ward at the vision that wins in the fight. They're sending the Wolves ahead to scout. They also have vision up here, though. And they're going to smoke right under an observer ward. Oh, no.
Can they actually take advantage of this? It's still hard to take the fight, even if you know exactly where they're going. They ping out where they're going to come to on the shrine.
Oh my god, this is going to be a disaster, it looks like.
They're right in position. The smoke breaks immediately onto the Jakiro, but the jump forward stunned immediately. Vacuum wall onto 3. Bernie just beating them all to death, but they pop the shrine, still staying alive. Can they actually control and kill off this big bad Sven? They're trying to kite it away. Freeze gets that Hurricane Pack off, able to back away FY. It's a good, actually it's not a good epicenter. It's on to basically nobody. They burrow strike onto 3 of them. Burning's still there, trying to do his bestest, but there's only the Warlock dead. Meanwhile, the Ember is already gone. The stun comes out from Bobica, connects onto 1 as well. Aggressive is being controlled and kill off. Another burrow strike from FY. He is gonna get the Yule Scepter lift up. Burning, barely staying alive, trying to deal the damage, but he is finally gonna be brought down. Freeze controlled again. ROTK trying to keep his mid player alive, but it was never gonna be enough, and Bobica has found ROTK as well. He's up on that high ground and going to be able to run away, but VG.J losing a big way.
Dude, IG have so much more confidence after last game. I don't think last game they would have made that sort of play. They knew they were on the shrine, and they still took the fight. That was a great initiation by the Darkseer and the Earth Spirit combo that we saw. They were able to burst heroes down, and the shrine actually did not come to that great of effect there. Fenrir also died twice. He fought back, and DB then just died again. That's a sad life. But the 2 big cores on the side of IG did end up dying, but that's a big statement to make. We slaughtered you at your shrine active, and they were waiting there.
Yeah. And I felt like there was that moment where Burning was, staying away, and they were getting multiple burrow strikes out from FY, but at the end of the day, it just ended up being enough. And now in a position to, they're not even actually going back for Roshan. They just want to try and take down some of these towers. If they're not careful, could get caught and pulled back.
Later, Q. Ooh, great chains.
Okay, chains keeping him caught there. The vacuum pulls him back in again. Fatal Bonds is out, but it's not doing anything. And now they caught out FY as well. There's the stun onto 2. Aggressive pop shapeshift wants to fight, but Burning, he's killing them off over by their shrine as well. Can they actually bring him down? It looks like Excess being chased, but OP ends up bringing down ROTK. Irving trying to run away. Freeze, can he actually make the escape? He does not end up having enough movement, and FY Epicenter chained up. Do they have enough damage to actually bring him down, though? The right click's coming from Freeze. Hurricane Pike as well, trying to run down OP as well. They drop the Global Silence, but they blow him up as well. Burning takes down Freeze yet again, and OP. Can they actually kill him off as well? Oh, FY, poor FY, gets brought down, dodging away from that burrow strike with the Remnant. Now
that
aggressive,
was sick. Also in trouble.
Oh, lordy, lordy. It's looking like it could be IG here. 4 dead again. 70 seconds with no Lycan.
Damn, IG's back, dude. That Halberd onto the Silencer to stop the kill from the Ember Spirit. That Remnant dodge on the during the Burrow Strike. Oh my god, that was amazing.
They're players when they need to be. And Fenrir, unfortunately, they want this. They're going to pull the Ember into the fountain. Is it going to be enough damage? Can they kill him off? He just remnants away. And this is going to be the Tier 3 tower. First one of the game taken.
This is by far the best game that IG has played here at this tournament. Their other 3 games, they just seem to be warming up to the patch, but finally they have crisp execution and team fights, great individual play, all-around solid draft. This is really, really good from them.
Well, and Sven was the hero that's making it all possible. 21 is his level right now, and
you don't want to fight 3v5 here. VG.J.
Oh, God. They get the Yule Scepter lift up. The Ice Path is there as well. Freeze is going to force tap him out. Can they actually do anything, though? It's so hard to fight into this lineup. ROTK is just desperately trying to create something here.
Warlock TPing in, but that's going to be even more of a delay for the Lycan to get to the fight.
Oh, the call comes out. They want to try and take this, but is it actually going to be enough? The vacuum wall onto 2. Warlock trying to break this up, though, and, well, a push out. That's the Hurricane Pike doing their best and trying to kill off this Ember Spirit, but he's going to TP away. The Magnetize is out. Bobica smells blood, continues to reapply it, and just going to roll and TP away. See you later, nerds.
See you later, nerds. Yep. That's what OP said, too. Damn. That was, again, good sign of teamwork. They backed off as a team. All 5 heroes stayed together. They were all the way up inside their base. So they backed off, how far of a distance is that? Like 5,000 distance. All of them just walking back together, making sure that if someone like if Twin Head gets dragged back, whatever, it's just a Jakiro, they don't really care. But if one of the cores gets caught, they are there ready to fight, and that was kind of a Hail Mary play, I would say, from VG.J going for that, especially when it's 3v5, but it's the play that they had to make nonetheless. Wolves, well, are they going to be able to do anything to stop this Roshan?
It's already gone. They have the Wolves there that scattered it, like you said, but
you have to wait for the attack animation, though. Oh, he could have actually denied the cheese, but I don't think he was looking for it.
And now look at these net worths, just how much ahead they are. It's 10,000 net worth lead, but it's these 4 cores, basically. Boboka has done so much damage in this game so far.
I would say Boboka has probably done more damage than Silencer in this game. And look at the net worth difference between Boboka and Silencer, too. Boboka's ridiculously farmed. He's more farmed than ROTK.
And just finishing off that Lotus Orb as well.
Oh my god, he has Lotus too? So, yeah, goodbye Global Silence. This is the thing about Silencer. It's very easy to itemize against a Global Silence. And without that, the hero just becomes extremely weak. And when BKBs come out, especially on a big hero like Sven, who you can't touch because of Warcry and Halberd and Cheese, he just does no damage. Like, he tried to plink away at the Ember Spirit that last fight, but as you can see, he's just not that strong.
Yeah, I mean,
despite having a lot of intel.
If they have the Halberd on him, it's like, what? He throws Arcane Curse and Last Word, and that's literally all he can do.
He just struggles so much versus evasion. It's just tough.
Well, a hard game indeed at this point for VG.J. They need to catch and kill off one of these people. They get the Firefly out onto him. Upheaval is doing good. This is also going to mean that OP can't Remnant very effectively.
Doesn't matter. He has Aegis.
All right, Burrow Strike. Glimmer Cape immediately, though, and the Ice Path onto 2. Oh, XSS, he is hungry for a big vacuum in here.
This Shrine's down, too.
Well, damage being dealt. Sven trying to man up against Aggressive. They're doing a good amount of damage onto Burning. Lotus Orb there as well. OP going to Remnant away. And Tier 3 is down now.
Yeah, they don't have to continue. They still have plenty of time left on the Aegis, but they're just waiting for that perfect moment. Like you mentioned, XSS just waiting for the juiciest vacuum wall. Oh, that T3 tower. I was like, is that full HP or no HP? It's at 0.
Oh, no. And, well, FY, he's Sandstorming. Just trying to stay alive for the moment. It's just such a hard game at this point. I'm going to find any type of agency at all. Last word there. Get the root onto Batrider. It just feels as if they don't have any ability to contest this at all. The Aegis is there, and VG.J trying to wait it out to the best of their ability. Pull back, onto 1. Maybe the beginning of something beautiful. The Global Silence comes out as well. They're trying to bring down and kill off that Shakiro. Burrow Strike is there as well. But can they actually do this? That's the Warlock ulti down as well. They kill off 1. Can they find any more? Aggressive, right-clicking, Burning all the way to death. The Remnants away. We're not actually that far. And, well, turn Cheeges, BKBs, back wall as well. Can they actually stay on top of these heroes with the damage? They're backing away. Burrow Strike, Epicenter onto 3. Silencer is just hitting away onto these heroes and trying to bring them low, but they are all so tanky and Burning. Catches again, right clicks there, double for him. Remnants forward, they want some more. IG very much in control of this game and taking them down. Buybacks abound, but can they actually do anything? A triple kill for Burning. They just keep on running at these guys. Oh, Freeze. It wasn't meant to be. There's another Hurricane Pike. They have a Lotus Orb, though, to take it all off. He's still disarmed, stunned up now as well. Can Burning find the kill? The right clicks are there. Wicked 6th Street for XXS, and GG is finally called as IG 2-0 VG.J.
I really like their itemization this game. I think clearly their individual play was much better than game number 1, but their itemization was also just really, really great. Crowd loving it.
They're feeling it. This is a team that they believe in. You know, we talked to Jack about what's their favorite team in China right now, and he was saying that IG is definitely up there as, like, you know, one of those top guys. He mentioned how much they love Burning, and, well, they're moving on.
Yeah, VG.J, I think FY played very, very well, aggressive, clearly well-practiced on the Lycan, but he just couldn't do that much, and he's actually smiling. He's all smiles. He knows that he played to his best. I think Aggressive played very well.
Yeah, definitely. And there were moments of brilliance there. You can see that this is a team that clearly has a lot of composure and plays well together. It's just, you know, at the end of the day, maybe also some patch things going on. Was the Silencer really the big thing that was a problem in that game?
Let's see. What's his damage? Okay. His damage was 25,000. Wow, that's a lot. He actually did sick damage.
What was Boboka's, though?
Bobica was 16,000. That's still pretty good.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Everyone, I think, carried their weight in this game, damage-wise. It's just tough. I think the mass AoE combo from IG is just really strong. Like, if you don't pop your BKB at the right time, you get vacuumed into like 5 stuns, and you just die. And they were able to execute that multiple times. And I think from this series too, XSS has been the hero that they needed. In game number 1, he had 2 black holes that he has all game. They were both big ones. And this game, I think he was very good with his vacuums, and he just made things work for his team.
Yeah. Even just the threat of the vacuum, there's so many times where they were zoned out. And
his net worth was incredibly high.
Exactly, throughout the whole game. Well, that's going to do it for the first series of the day, IG 2-0 VG.J. I'm going to send it back to the panel now, see if they have anything else to say about that fabulous performance.